Tesla slashes its car prices as much as 20% to prop up sagging sales. Tesla is taking across the board price cuts on its electric vehicles to prop up sagging sales, slashing the sticker price of its most expensive models by more than $20,000, even as it cuts lower end models as much as 20%. Tesla also cut the price of the Model S Plaid, which previously cost $135,990, will now set the consumer back $114,990, a 15% discount worth $21,000. Which, here's the thing, this is what's so funny. If you're able to get your hands on a Model S Plaid for like 114,990, you could probably immediately flip that car for $135,990 or more. Because the true demand for these Tesla cars is just insane, right? Absolutely insane. Tesla also cut the price of its Model X Plaid from $138,990 to $119,990, a 14% reduction. And those on a tighter budget who have dreamed of owning a Tesla could splurge for a Model Y, the price of which was reduced by 20% to $52,990 from $65,990. And a Model Y Performance, which previously cost $69,990, will now set you back $56,990. Hold on, I want to see what the Model Y Performance actually looks like. Model Y Performance. So this is the Model Y. Let's see. So we're at the Model Y right now on their websites. Interesting. Let's see. You know what's interesting? If you stumble upon this, if you've ever actually been in a Tesla, actually, no, I'll put it this way. If you've never been in a Tesla, it's kind of interesting because it's extremely minimalistic, right? Like, it's basically like you're kind of in a spaceship with like nothing in it. Like, it's a really weird feeling, right? But if you're someone who is more of like a minimalist and you don't like having a whole bunch of different things inside your vehicles or inside your house or whatever, I mean, a Tesla really isn't that bad for that type of mindset. Like just keeping things extremely simple, not really having to think about anything. You basically wear the exact same type of stuff all the time. Not that bad of an option. The crazy thing, though, is that they're making their vehicles now way more competitive with other car makers. And this is actually going to be pretty interesting to see what happens because technically speaking, in terms of like electric vehicles, Teslas are still above all the other car manufacturers in terms of what they actually offer you, right? It's just crazy because you can have like the average like brand new price of like a car nowadays isn't really too far off of like the $52,990, which is scary when you think about it. And not only that, if they provide really good financing, which I definitely don't recommend anyone to really finance a vehicle, but if they do offer really good financing options, then that makes them extremely competitive. So the price changes for Model 3 sedans and certain Model Y SUVs are significant in that buyers can now qualify for the $7,500 electric vehicle tax credit. Now that's interesting. Under the old price plan, Model Y buyers didn't qualify for the tax credit because the price exceeded the cap of $55,000. Wow, so if that's the case, that's even going to make it that much more competitive. That's crazy. So Tesla CEO Elon Musk reportedly grew upset when the Biden administration issued guidelines last year that disqualified Model Y buyers from the tax credit because the car didn't weigh enough to be considered an SUV. And the Model Y was thus subject to the $55,000 price cap that applies to sedans instead of the $80,000. And on its website, Tesla notes that some customers are now eligible for the 7,500 federal tax credit on vehicles that will be delivered through March. Now that's interesting. So, do they actually have that right now? So, yeah, Model Y, order now. Do they actually have that? So, certain new Model 3 and Model Y vehicles qualify for a federal tax credit for eligible buyers. This credit amount is in effect for deliveries until March 2023. Wow. So, hold on. All prices are shown without potential incentives or gas savings of 7,800. Blah blah blah. Purchase price, potential savings. Wow. Like this is actually making it really competitive, right? Let's see. Hold on. No, 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 no. See details. Okay, so 7,500 federal tax credit. Customers who take delivery of a qualified new Tesla and meet all federal requirements are eligible for a tax credit up to $7,500. This credit amount applies to deliveries now and may change during March 2023, at which point the credit value may be reduced. So, the adjusted gross income limitations $300,000 for married couples filing jointly, 225,000 for heads of households, 150,000 for all other filers, and the price caps. The vehicle price at time of delivery must not exceed the following caps. This price includes optional equipment physically attached to the vehicle at the time of delivery and excludes software features, accessories, taxes, and fees. Interesting. So, this is actually interesting. So, it really depends on what is physically connected to the vehicle. Now, that's interesting. Which means that you could get the Model Y long range, right? I don't know. See, if I were to get a Tesla, which I mean I wouldn't, at least I think I wouldn't, but I'd probably go with black, I guess, because I just see white Teslas everywhere, like literally everywhere. I get black on black, alright? Oh, whoa, wait a minute. 2 grand for wheels? No, I'm not gonna do that. Oh, okay. So I see. They're literally charging like a grand. Nah, nah. I could just get like a wrap for cheaper. Yeah, just go white. Wow. Okay, so that's why people get white. Tow hitch. I don't get why I would put a tow hitch on a Tesla. Interior. I'll just go all black. 5. Okay. Enhance autopilot. Navigate on autopilot. Auto lane change. Auto park summon. Smart summon. No, don't need that. Full self-driving capability. No, I wouldn't need that. Also, I don't like the amount. Ugh, $15,000 for that. Dude, like whoever's buying Teslas are just like having like a crazy amount of money to spend. Let's see, charging. I would add these, the wall connector and the mobile connector. Yeah. And your design qualifies for a $7,500 federal tax credit for eligible buyers. Continue to payment. Okay, so your Model Y. Model Y long range, dual motor, all wheel drive. Blah, 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 blah. Let's see. So your Model Y in cash is 54,630. But then you also get the $7,500 federal tax credit, which really ain't bad. Okay, so lease $599 per month. That's 36 months, 10,000 miles, $4,500 down, and yeah, loan $813 per month. Yeah, that's a lot to be paying per month for a vehicle. Like, ooh. Like if I were to buy a Model Y, I'd do it straight up in cash. So let's go back to Tesla. Let's now do the Model 3 because that also gets the tax benefit as well. Let's see. Let's see. Order now. And this one starts at 43,990, which is way more competitive, right? Now you could even get the performance option as well, right? But let's go with the cheapest option just to see how much it would actually be. So Model 3, 43,990. Let's see, keep going. Keep the white because it's going to be included. Okay. No need autopilot, no need full self-driving. Yep, charging. Continue the payment. Yeah. Yeah, see, this price for like a brand new car is very competitive because you have to include the $7,500 federal tax credit. Like, this actually makes a Tesla Model 3, the base model, actually not bad in terms of like purchasing it. Now, again, people have different views on like Teslas or vehicles or whatever kind of stuff, but wow, that is some interesting stuff. Like I wouldn't have really been interested in a Tesla, but I mean, the price point is like pretty darn competitive. Like for example, let's go Ford. Ford.com. See, cars. Which, by the way, if I were to get a car, it'd probably be a Mustang from Ford, honestly, right? So starting at 27,770. But really, I mean, if you want to get a Mustang, you're definitely gonna go for like a GT, right? So let's see. Yeah, basically about 43, 45, right? After the taxes and whatnot. But then you get the tax benefit, so that's in the 30s. Now, if you want to go like the cheapest route, okay, you got 27, but really it's going to be like 30 something by the end of it, which again is keeping it on par with the Model 3. So it just kind of like depends on like what your interests are. Like if you're someone that literally all they do is go home, go work, go home, or go home to school, go home. Is that basically all you do? A Tesla as an option probably wouldn't be that bad because you're always charging it back at home anyways. But if you're someone that likes to drive around, go on adventures, go out, all that sort of stuff, a Tesla may not be the best option for you. Or if you live in the country or more rural, a Tesla probably really isn't that good for you. Like, if you live in an area that is anywhere like somewhat remote, it'd be almost impossible to find a charger for a Tesla other than your house if you put it there. And even depending on your house, because it might be more rural, you may not even have the right connections to really make it viable for you to put a home charger for your Tesla. You can still probably do it, but it's just probably going to be a hassle. But let's see. Lease $469 per month. The loan is $660 per month. See, like this is still like a large amount to be paying per month for a vehicle. Even with like the tax, well, I mean, with the tax benefit, it'd be probably way less, but I don't know. I still don't like paying this much amount of money for like a car. Even though like my dream cars are like GTRs and Lamborghini like Huracans and Gallardos, whatever, right? Like those are like my dream vehicles in the future, which are way more expensive than a Tesla Model 3. But it's still just it feels hard to justify spending this type of money for a vehicle. Or if you were to finance it, that type of money per month for a vehicle. Because that doesn't even include insurance, right? And who knows what insurance is going to be on a brand new Tesla? I don't know. It might be a good amount. Interesting. What is the cheapest car from Ford, though? Let's explore all vehicles. Let's see. Yeah. Reset all. Model year. Current, I guess. Okay, let's just go cars. Trucks and vans. Okay, the 2023 Maverick at $22,000 doesn't seem bad. EcoSport 22,000. Okay, that's not really bad at all. Okay, what's Honda? Honda.com. Honda Autos. Let's see. Okay, Accord 26,520. Civic 25. Passport 41. Okay, so it seems like mid 20s to like 30s is pretty much the price point, which after the tax credit, the Model 3 would basically be at. It's not that crazy. Like, it's comparable, which is the main thing, which makes a Model 3 pretty competitive to other ones, right? Because the thing is, the amount of money that you're saving on gas does add up. It really does add up, especially if you're someone that drives a lot, right? Or if you drive a lot to go to work or come back, it does save you potentially hundreds of dollars a month, right? Like, personal example, I drive like, I don't know, I drive to the point where I spend nearly 500 bucks a month on gas in just terms of my driving, right? So if I were to swap that to a electric car, that's $500 potentially in just gas savings, right? Although there was one, like I think a few bad months where I was spending like 700 bucks on gas per month. And the thing is, I got a pretty gas friendly car. And yet I'm still spending that amount of money on gas. So it's just something to keep in mind, right? Because you're not just spending money on the actual vehicle, you're spending money on the vehicle, you're spending money on the car insurance, and you're spending money on the upkeep, as in brakes, oil changes, gas, right? So if you include the tax credit and the savings of not having to pay for gas, if the insurance is not bad, it makes this Tesla Model 3 specifically the lowest, like optioned out Model 3, very competitive to pretty much all other cars, like all other sedans, which is a pretty crazy thing when you think about it. Like, let's see. How much does this say that you potentially save? Hold on. La, 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 la. So the potential savings, right? So all prices are shown without potential incentives or gas savings of $6,600, right? Yeah, it makes it very competitive because I could see there being a lot more Teslas by this time next year because of it being such a competitive option now. Now, the thing is, I really don't like this range, right? Like, this range is like really, really sucky to me in my mind, right? Like, really sucky to me. But if you're like living in this city, that ain't bad. If you're living like in the suburb, that's not really bad. But, oof, I don't know. That's kind of. I'd prefer like the range to be more so like over 300, which is the Model 3 long range, I think. Right? I don't know. This is the Model 3 long range, right? Or no? Oh, okay. Never mind. So the Model 3 long range isn't available into 2023. Okay. Still crazy though. But Model 3 Performance, you could get it at 315 miles. You know what? If I were to get one of these options, I would probably get the performance just because to get away from really crazy drivers on the highway, in my personal opinion. Feel free to give your thoughts on this. I just found this kind of interesting because of this tax credit and lowering the price points. I don't think Tesla's a bad option for a lot of people now.